Sorry it took me a while to come back. But once that went down, other things happened. My son and my daughter showed up. And they started hounding me about stuff because, that's what happens when you have offspring. They just come to you for things all the time. So, anyway, I'm back for a little while. Is everybody... Who's still here? Who came back? You're amazing. I'm sorry that technology and the internet hate me. Damn Russian satellites. Last Moonday yet twice, yeah. Spicy Sarah. Yeah, man. All right. Now, where were we? Resource-based a global holistic solution. This is the Venus Project. Because I am kind of interested now to see what people are saying about this. The global problems faced by humanity today are impacting individuals and nations rapidly. Climate change, energy contraction, famine, war, epidemics of deadly diseases. Desertification and environmental pollution contribute to the long list of global challenges. Okay, this sounds like... See, that's what I was thinking about the video I was watching before, that it sounds like some sort of... like climate change propaganda type stuff. Yeah, and then I saw some of you commenting it was like 15-minute cities or whatever. I mean, some stuff about it looked cool, like having water and trees and stuff to walk around. Like that stuff looks nice. Because when I lived in Sacramento, there's a river there. There's trees. It's a tree city, USA. So even though, like, in downtown Sacramento, it's the capital of California, the Capitol building's there. There's a bunch of, the high rises there. I didn't live in one of those, but I did live in, downtown Sacramento for a while. And It's nicer when there's actual trees there. Then you go to New York and there's like no trees. It's just all buildings. There's like, well, at least where I went, there was hardly any trees at all. Or even in Atlanta, there was like no trees, in downtown Atlanta or whatever by the hotel, wherever we were staying at. But then you go to the venue, which was like this like amphitheater type place. And it was nice because there were trees. I was like, oh God, there's trees. Thank God there's trees here. But yeah, it did look a little bit weird. Like, link's broken. All goods and services are available to all people without the need of means or exchange as money, credits, barter, or any other means. For this to be achieved, all resources must be declared as the common heritage of all Earth's inhabitants, equipped with the latest scientific and technological marvels. This sounds just like the other thing, but it's just under a different name. Humankind can reach extremely high productivity levels and create an abundance of resources. Resource-based economy concerns itself with three main factors, namely environmental, technological, and human. We invite you to investigate further into these factors and discover more about the Venus Project and resource-based economy. Too much technology in the world today, and their technology is a major cause of our environmental pollution. This is not the case. Founders and directors. Let's see. Jacques Fresco is a founder of the Venus Project. This is the guy that Law said has passed away. May 18th, 2017. He passed away. Right? Starting in 1980, together with his associate Roxanne Meadows, they constructed 10 buildings based on his designs, establishing a 21-acre center in Venus, Florida. Here they produced videos, books, models, renderings, blueprints, and much more depicting Fresco's designs of future possibilities. Prior to Fresco's death on May 18, 2017, the United Nations acknowledged his contributions to bestowing an award to him for sustainable city design and community. For more about Fresco's background, visit his resume. Roxanne Meadows. Is this the one that you said is a shill? Law? Wonder if Law came back. 1212. 1212, which is also 33. Lack of trees is ungodly, yes. I'm having a blast with the Holy Nights, Liz, playing with spirit and taking a laid-back approach. I'm also using automatic writing to get my own messages from the cards before reading the meanings. I have my daughter's doing it too. And along with our nightly card from the Oracle deck, we're pulling a tarot card from my illuminated tarot deck. Illuminati confirmed. Roxanne Meadows worked with futurist Jacques Fresco for 41 years to develop and promote the Venus Project. The function of this project is to develop and implement alternative solutions to many problems that confront the world today. She participated in many ways, from organizing and designing books, producing and editing 8 documentaries, to co-writing articles, to co-designing the interior, doing a large part of construction of the 10 buildings of the Venus Project's 21-acre center in Florida. Do they have a star fort or whatever thingy that they built there? And what does the buildings look like at the Venus Project place? $21. $130. Attend a tour and a seminar. Oh, I see. Look at, they do have their little spaceship houses.
We came here in the early 80s, and this land was a flat tomato field. There was no water. There were no palm trees. We planted hundreds of palm trees, and we made a little paradise here.
We put up new buildings, waterways, lakes, flowers, fruit, vegetables, grow.
This is gonna get me a copyrighted watch. Many of the presented ideas are being translated into reality today. The first phase of the Venus Project has been completed in a 21-acre center in still pristine South Central Florida, where the future is currently taking shape. Oh. Whoa. It does look all futuristic. It's all Star Trek-y. Look at that. That's actually kind of cool looking. I'm not against it. This is weird, this water world crap. Look at the old school TV up here. They got a globe. Picture of the globe. Alright. Alright, change your decor a little bit. I bet that's cool to live in though. Look at it all. It's all nestled there in the jungle. Little jungle dome. It's a jungle dome. Those look fun. Nice. $130? Whatever. I mean, I guess. Remote reading or remote or viewing. I say the more you make your own practice, the better. I got Melissa a Mystic Shaman Oracle deck, but pocket size. The cards are the size of playing cards and they come in a tin with a booklet. Oh, that's cool. Check out the address on Google Earth. What's the address of it? 21 Valley Lane, Venus, Florida. All right, hold on one second. Fish Eating Creek. So here's their little compound. They got a little pond right here. Is this also some of their stuff, maybe? I don't know where it goes, like how much of it is theirs or what. They all kind of look like they're all part of the same thing, though, don't they? That might be a cool place to live. I wonder if they got alligators. Do you think they got alligators there? They're nice. I just don't want neighbors, so it wouldn't work for me. Yeah. Earthship or biodome for cult leaders. Basically, it's 21 Valley Lane, Venus, Florida. It's like, I mean, look at that. It's like pretty green all around it. Like it's all jungly, swampy. I don't know. It's pretty flat. I mean, their renderings were flat, so Florida's a great place to build, you know, the renderings. Or to build their little... It's like, there you go, right in the center. By Fort Myers. Port Charlotte. West Palm Beach. Sarasota. South of Tampa. Pretty south of Orlando, too. So there you go. That's where it is. Interesting. Guided tour around the center, led by Roxanne Meadows. Starts 1 p.m. till approximately 6 p.m. or until all the questions are answered. Probably likely to flood, yeah. We have some good neighbors, but they are pretty far away. I suck. Is it on Seminole land? No idea. Why would they have it on Seminole land? Do you think Seminoles would want them on their land? Florida could disappear. It should have disappeared according to all of the climate alarmists that it should have disappeared. Right? It should already be underwater. That would be the first thing to go if the sea levels were to rise, if the ice cap melted and the sea rose. Venus Project. Resourcism, share Earth's bounty. Zeitgeist movement. Oh, here we go. This sounds like what Law was referring to. Vision for a moneyless, sustainable, and just world. Resourcism abolishes money, profit, and debt. Introduction. Why a new system is necessary. Every generation inherits a defining question. For us, it is this. How long can humanity survive under economic systems that exploit people, strip the planet, and hollow out democracy? Capitalism promised prosperity, yet its endless pursuit of growth on a finite planet has created grotesque inequality. The richest 1% control more than half of all the wealth, while billions lack secure access to food, water, and shelter. Socialism, while more equitable, has often remained tethered to money and industrial. I'm curious what it says. Lost my place. Oh, here we go. Creates scarcity. While more equitable, has often remained tethered to money and industrial exploitation, redistributing wealth without questioning the framework that creates scarcity in the first place. Meanwhile, the ecological bill is coming due. Forests burn, glaciers collapse, oceans acidify, species vanish. Climate instability is no longer a prediction but a lived reality. Our economies consume far more than Earth can regenerate year after year. Is that really true, though? At the same time, money itself reveals its fragility. Markets crash, currencies inflate, and the illusion of monetary wealth crumbles in the face of real scarcity. Food, water, energy, and shelter, not numbers in a bank ledger, determine survival. It is within this global crisis that we put forward resourcism, a moneyless, resource-based economy grounded in participatory democracy, not an ideological tweak to existing systems, but a new foundation for survival and flourishing. Resourcism is not utopian fantasy. It is the sober recognition that survival requires reorganizing society around resources, not profit. It's money. Okay, so what is resourcism? At its core, resourcism rests on a simple, radical truth. The Earth's abundance belongs to all, not to the few. It is moneyless. Is this right? It is resource-based. Food, energy, housing, and all essentials are distributed by availability and sustainability, guided by science rather than speculation. What does that mean, guided by science? It is democratic. Well, democracy is actually mob rule, so I don't know. Maybe this isn't what Law is talking about, but we'll see. People shape how resources are managed through participatory democracy, ensuring collective accountability and responsibility. Resourcism builds on the concept of a resource-based economy, first articulated by Jacques Fresco, but grounds it firmly in democratic accountability and ecological ethics. It is not technocracy. It is not authoritarian command. It is a commons-based system where transparent data, automation, and community stewardship together guide production, distribution, and renewal. Transparent data, automation, and community stewardship together guide production, distribution, and renewal. Okay, so, well, we definitely don't have transparent data going on in our country right now, so, I mean, that could be an issue. The Resourcism Declaration outlined later in this essay sets forth its guiding principles: abolition of money, recognition of sources as a shared inheritance, guaranteed access to life's essentials, participatory democracy, sustainability as law, automation for liberation, and the end of exploitation. Not a utopian dream, but an ethical and practical necessity. Resourcism is the opposite of this resourcism without the E. An environmental term describing the reduction of nature to resources for exploitation. But resourcism is the opposite, insisting resources are not mere commodities, but inheritances with intrinsic value. They must be stewarded with reverence and responsibility, not pillaged for profit. Well, who? I don't understand. Yeah, well, I have a hard time seeing how this could work myself. The economy ensures abundance, and because you know. Technology supports this vision by providing open data, transparent resource ledgers, and digital platforms for decision-making, but it is people, not algorithms, who remain sovereign. Global resource inventory, satellite sensors, and AI already track agriculture, oh God. Instead of feeding market speculation, this data could inform a transparent global ledger of resources. Yeah, it could. But, like, who would ever do that? So you're saying, like, this is saying globally, like, every country would have to basically put all of their resources into the global resource database, and then what technology helps distribute it so that everybody gets everything equally and has everything that they need, and life is good. Automation and AI. Supply chain algorithms already allocate goods globally faster than markets. Imagine redirecting this power to distribute food, medicine, and housing by need rather than profit. Eco-villages, resource-based communities, and participatory budgeting provide test cases. Small-scale experiments can serve as laboratories for global transformation. I mean, I could see it being like a small-scale thing, but global? I don't know. Don't know. Everything has been pillaged for profit. Yeah. Communism with extra steps. It will never happen. Too many bad, greedy people. See, that's my thoughts on that Southern Belle. I'm like, well, okay, so you still have to have people who are distributing this stuff, to people by need rather than profit. And so, what about people like you that? Yeah, there's still people who are going to be like, well, I want more than like. How about I just go rip this guy off? Rip off this truck or whatever. Or maybe the trucker could be on it. Like they could just, because that stuff happens now with computer systems, distributing loads to different truck drivers and whatnot, right? Because they'll just like dump off one trailer and then another truck will pick it up, blah, 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 right? So it's like, how do they know that the people who are actually, because it's still, if it's a physical product, it still has to get from point A to point B under the stewardship of humans who are transporting said product. So you have to be sure that they're going to be able to do that safely. And how, I don't know. There's always, it seems like a good idea, but at the same time, I just don't trust humans to exist like this because, well, for one thing, if humans could exist like this, why weren't they doing it already? Who the hell made money? Why do we even have money then? Like, why did humans make money? Because wasn't salary started because, you got your like weekly ration of salt, because salt was considered a resource back then, because you needed salt so you could preserve foods. It made your food that you bought taste good. Like it adds to your food, and it adds extra minerals and stuff. Like we like salt. I buy good salt because I like good salt on my food, right? Like it's important, So why did we make money? All the reasons why communism doesn't work, it's all ideological and not practical in the real world. A flipped Tesla? If I was somebody that towed cars, I wouldn't touch a flipped Tesla. I wouldn't freaking touch any electrical vehicle. That is the mainstream narrative, and I accept it as accurate when it comes to the relationship between the word salt and salary. Is it mainstream narrative? Let's look up the etymology of salary. Salary, compensation, payment, whether periodical or for regular service for a specific service, from Anglo-French salary or Old salaire, wages paid, reward, from Latin salarum, an allowance to a stipend, a pension, and to be originally salt money, or soldier's allowance for the purchase of salt. Lewis and Short, noun used for the neuter of adjective salaris, of or pertaining to salt, yearly revenue from the sale of salt. As a noun, a dealer in salt fish, from genitive salus, salt. Pyrute, sal, or salt. Compare Greek satyrion, pay, etymologically provision for grain, from ceto, sweet corn. Over time, by 19th century, salary became restricted to recompense stipulated to be paid a person periodically for services usually a fixed sum. The Via Salaria was also called because the Sabinists used it to fetch sea salt near the Porta Colina. Japanese Sararaman, male salaried worker, literally salaryman, is from English. Meaning salt, it might form all or part of halide, haludic, halite, halo, halogen, salad, salami, salary. Well, salami is made by curing the meat in salt. Saline is salt water. Salmagundi, I don't know what that is. Salsa, salsify, salt cellar, saltpeter, sauce, sausage, silt. Of Greek hals, salt or sea, Latin sal. Slavonic, sali, Old Irish, salan, sals, salt, sea, salt, sealt. Interesting. Wage earner, soldier. Traditionally in English, wages were payment for manual or mechanical labor and somewhat distinguished from salary or fee. Well, anyway, I guess it's mainstream. Do you have an alternative theory? I like the Ooga Booga days. They talk about spices being like a currency a couple hundred years ago, but maybe it was more like thousands and thousands of years ago before they started using coins. The power went out in San Francisco and all the Waymo cars stopped dead in their tracks. Oh my god. Was there an earthquake? Just can't believe they don't even operate well in the cold. I know there was a there was a thing I saw a long time ago about those things. The way to stop them is to just put a cone on the hood, and then they won't go anywhere because you're blocking their little radar thingamajinger. Woman gives birth in driverless Waymo car on the way to a hospital in San Francisco. I don't know if that's today you're talking about Waymo going out of, or things going wacko. Oh, here we go. The blackout in San Francisco is an example of California leftist logic. What happens in a major earthquake and people have to evacuate? And you have Waymo robo-taxis blocking escape routes in an emergency. The taxis are stuck and aren't moving. Emergency response. A fire truck gets held up because the autonomous car doesn't pull over for sirens. Meanwhile, Tesla's full self-drive nails it every time. Oh, is that true? Waymo robo-taxi delays fire truck in rainy San Francisco video. So that was San Francisco. Why is it retarded? This is the 21st. Power went out in San Francisco yesterday, and all the self-driving Waymo cars didn't know what to do when the street lights went dark. Brought traffic to a halt in many intersections. Looks like they need to reread page 34 of the California Driver's Manual. When a traffic light is not working, stop as if the intersection is controlled by stop signs in all directions and proceed cautiously when it is safe to do so. Is that a whole bunch of them?
Someone's gonna set this thing on fire if it doesn't move soon.
Aren't those all Waymo cars? Oh, there's 3 of them right there. Oh God, why do you gotta put stupid music over that? Ugh. A 1-hour Waymo ride from San Francisco to Menlo Park via 280. Oh, I used to drive this every day. I used to live there. It's over. Cars are self-driving. Everything else is just about rolling this out to the rest of the world. Really now? Jaguar. This is a Jaguar. Or at least it has a Jaguar badge. God, that 280s, they still haven't but that highway is a piece of crap. Looks crappy over there right now. God, how recent is that? Are they gonna repave that road or what? California sucks. Fleets of Waymo were confused. Halting traffic and blocking people from leaving. So it's happening all over.
Do they just like...
I don't know. I just pulled out of the garage and I saw this going on. It's like this Waymo standoff. Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of here, but...
This is so funny. Oh, because they hit each other.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my God.
Stay there forever? Do we need to, like, can we call them?
Well, we can call enforcement over here. We can scan and call. Cars are stuck. Horse is stuck.
Oh my
This
god.
is so funny. Okay, the guy's here, the road service report, and he can open the car, but can he drive the car?
Good lord, how annoying is that? Man hiding in the Waymo trunk? What?
The people. I'm late. That's why, man.
Why the fuck are you in the trunk?
That's why, man. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm over here. Yeah, this shit won't let me out. This shit
Why
won't.
are you in it?
Huh? They just put me in here.
Who put you in?
The
what?
The people. I'm late. That's why I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Just look. This people.
Why the fuck are you in the trunk?
That's why, man. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm over here. Yeah, this shit won't let me out. This shit won't.
Shocking, there's people hiding out in the in the Waymos in San Francisco. Fuck that, dude. Avoid situation of law enforcement when their weapons are drawn. What? Won't be looking forward to that. There was some billionaire woman who was parked in her Tesla at a pond somewhere when suddenly her car went in reverse mode and backed into the pond. She died because she nor any bystanders could open the door. What? They have really amazing window shatterers that you can buy and keep in your mind. Yeah. Hold it against the window and press a button. Spring-loaded nail punch. They're fucking robots. Future where thousands of communists literally asleep behind the wheel of their self-driving cars. Seriously. There's I saw a Tesla driving around and there's a sticker on the back of it said I may not be driving. I was like, oh, fantastic. That's just fantastic. Waymo retarded. What insurance company? I don't know. Somebody does because they're all apparently they're driving all over San Francisco, blocking traffic and shit. Slightly collided with each other in San Francisco. Yeah, they have like, you know, this is more than Tesla. Which doesn't Tesla just use cameras? Like this is like a crazy radar system that these things have. The whole SF Bay Area peninsula from San Francisco to San Jose and is taking riders on freeways. Oh boy. San Francisco blackout. Waymo froze and Tesla drove. Waymo's robo-taxis got a little too real last night. Tesla in full self-drive kept rolling. No drama, no headlines, just handling chaos like it's a walk in the park. That's so weird. I mean, maybe some elderly people who still want to get around, but they really don't have the vision or whatever to be driving. They could be using some full self-driving Tesla cars, but I don't want that. San Francisco woman gives birth in the back of a self-driving taxi. It wasn't the first time. Oof. Critical safety failure by Waymo self-driving cars that blows right through emergency caution tape and into accident scene. Well, I don't really care to be inside of a self-driving vehicle. That's all I got to say about that. Like a oh, look at that. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, it's Dennis. I got a question. I know it's late, but you started late. How much longer? I mean, you may not know, but how much longer do you think you got on? You'll go an hour?
I don't know. Maybe. At the most.
The reason I'm asking, yeah, I had several errands to run, but I got this idea last night when y'all were talking. Y'all mentioned alcohol at one point, and I thought, I don't know if I could do it if I got enough time, but I'll get coffee, like nice, hot, sweet, hot coffee, but with Bailey's or something in it. So I had an appointment. I got my eyes dilated, but I think I can drive. I'm not going very far, but I can go back to home. And if there's this place I can stop, I think I can do it while you're still doing. If it doesn't happen, no sweat. But I wanted to drink coffee with Bailey's during coffee talk. That was the idea.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, be careful driving with your eyes dilated, Dennis.
Oh, I got the
glasses.
the little dark glasses. I think I may have some others. I'll check in my my bag before I take off. But I think I'm good to go. I know I'm not going to drive, and it's the middle of the day, so it's not rush hour, and I'm familiar with the route. It's not an interstate or nothing.
Okay.
So, all right, I'll keep tuned in, and yeah, good show last night, by the way.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, Dennis.
That may be why that might be connected with why you started late. I don't know.
Oh yes, it's definitely connected.
Oh, all right, we'll see you later.
All right,
Appreciate
Dennis.
it.
Bye.
Thanks.
Oy vey. I know I missed a couple of other calls too. I'm sorry, I forgot to reopen my window. You guys gotta remind me about this stuff, man. Because, I don't always have to restart. Sometimes I have to restart like this. I have to reset up everything. It's a huge pain in the butt. It's a huge pain in the butt to restart a stream, that's all I gotta say. Dilated Jake. You did remind me? Oh, Tony, I'm sorry. I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm lame. I'm a lame-o. Moemo lame-o. Well, it's open now. And I didn't even announce that I opened it because I just opened it and then the phone thing started ringing. You're welcome, user GG2XR8IL9V. Awesome. So not lame. Wingo Tango. Thank you for this, Artez, for the thing about bee propolis. You know what's so funny is I was thinking about this yesterday, and I didn't even know that you sent me this on X, and here it is. Rheumatoid arthritis, a topical product according to package directions. Cool. Parasites. Bee propolis for cuts and tooth problems. Oh. Bee propolis uses. Oh, very nice. Should be a beekeeper. I would totally become a beekeeper so I could get beeswax and honey and propolis. That'd be awesome. Earth shape, it's in pretty bad shape. Well, resources, huh? Okay, so then what the other caller was talking about, he was talking about something else about tokenizing stuff, but the Genius Act is something else. That was in regards to people creating stable coins. 2025 to regulate stable coins, require them to be fully backed by US dollars or low-risk assets. It aims to create a comprehensive regulatory framework for stablecoins, enhancing consumer protection and ensuring the stability of these digital assets. Historic crypto bill. So, yeah, this administration is pushing all kinds of crypto stuff through. Well, I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you. Because I think some things about crypto are good and other things about crypto are bad. And, like, if you look at the Trump coin, you know, and what happened with that, and, like, the Milan, and all those stupid meme coins are pump and dump coins, it's like, well, that kind of is representing the bad part of crypto. That's not really what crypto is supposed to be about. But, you know, whatever. Will I be the same person I was in 2025 and 2026? I don't know, Ray, will you be? One year closer. A beat keeper. CBDC seems imminent. Yeah. It's going to be bad if they intend to take away cash. Imagine large blackouts with no cash to use. Yeah, I don't think that will work. Hail, Ben. You can't ever... I don't think you could ever fully get rid of cash. They could just smash the freaking value out of it, though. They smash the value out of it. But I don't think they could ever really get rid of cash. I mean, it's just not realistic. That's one thing, you know, we could do. We could always try to use more cash and not use cards so much. I try to do stuff like that. But then it's like that. But then to get cash out, they charge you a bunch of money just to get your cash out. You get charged an ATM fee to use your card. It's like, no matter what you do, you're always paying a fee. Currently in the process of smashing the value of the dollar. Yeah. Yeah. The moon and sun figure big in the New Year's lineup of cosmic wonders. The moon and sun shared top billing in 2026. Kicking off the year's cosmic wonders is the moon, drawing first astronauts to visit in more than 50 years. Oh, are they saying that they're going to go to the moon this year? As well as a caravan of robotic lunar landers, including Jeff Bezos' new supersized blue moon. A supermoon looms on January 3rd, and an astronomical blue moon is on the books for May. The sun will also generate buzz with a ring of fire eclipse at the bottom of the world in February, and a total solar eclipse at the top of the world in August. Expect more auroras in unexpected places, though perhaps not as frequently as the past couple of years. Let's see. I think we were looking at eclipses recently, and but I was looking at the one in Africa. But so here's the one: annular solar eclipse visible in Africa, South America, Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean. So down here, but not even like a total eclipse. This is like a partial eclipse. Total lunar eclipse in March, and then August 12th, 2026 in North Asia. Up here, the eclipse happens in the north, so it does happen like that way. There's an eclipse in the south and then an eclipse in the north. So this is Antarctica, so it's like going like this. Allegedly. Allegedly. How do you verify that? How do you verify? Essentially looks the same on that other one we just looked at. Am I right? Yeah, it's like just a little blip, blip. How long does it last for? so it'll be like 5 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. So like 4.5 hours essentially. Antarctica. How many people can see this eclipse? Nobody can see the totality of it. Nobody. Starts at 30%. An eclipse never comes alone. A solar eclipse always occurs about 2 weeks before or after a lunar eclipse. Usually there are 2 eclipses in a row, but other times there are 3 during the same eclipse season. This is the first eclipse this season. Second eclipse this season will be March 26, total lunar eclipse. Oh, look at the little sun and moon holding hands. They're buddies. They're buddies. Isn't it cute? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hi, Karen. Me again. Real fast. 3 things. I'm going to keep you again. Hiram Abyss. If you want to ponder old world buildings. Daniel 4, verse 10, for big, huge trees. And I saw a Waymo, a video of them, take passengers through an active shooting crime scene.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine being in the back of that thing? They're taking you, people are shooting each other.
I'd be hiding.
And you can't get out of it?
Yeah. I'd be hiding down the floorboards. That'd be freaky.
Yeah, the driving is so stupid. And they talk about evacuating in a hurricane, and then, some of the electric cars run out of battery juice and cause a big traffic jam. It's awful. That's what happened in San Francisco. You were showing it. So anyway, I just want to tell you those 3 things. I won't keep you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Karen.
Bye. Who wants to come dig up some good gold and silver? I do. I want to come dig up some gold and silver. We have a solar eclipse coming next August. Yeah, but nobody's going to see it. I'm in Ukiah. I need new tires next month, and I would like to gold dig. I use my propolis salve as a currency. I'm hitting Trinity River this year with my paddleboard. Yeah, Ben, I want to come go pan for gold or whatever it is you do. You dig? You dig, not pan. I don't know what you do. All cryptocurrencies' values are based on their scarcity versus accessibility. Cash is king, and any amount of money can be printed out while its value remaining, since it's based on our belief in them. Yeah. Smack dab in the middle of gold country, yep. Yeah, man. That's why the 49ers are the San Francisco 49ers, because of the gold rush in California. There's still plenty of gold out there. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. It's Tony Coriolis.
What's up, Tony?
Not much. Yeah, I tried calling earlier to chime in on Dr. Law's thought with the resources and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, I don't know. I guess I don't really get it. It just sounds like when they say, like, no, not communism. I mean a good version of communism. Like, I don't know. I don't think I like it so far, but all open to him on trying to sell it better. But for now, I ain't feeling it, really.
Yeah.
And I just know he's still lurking. He's hearing me say that. So good luck
Yes.
trying to explain it a little better. But for now, not a fan. So no big deal. But
Yeah, it seems like more of like a small localized type of idea rather than like a worldwide one to me. But it's all
yeah, because
so
someone's going to have more than others. There's no way it's that euphoria, all equal for everyone. And now we all don't have to work. And no, I think that's all pipe dream stuff. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe he got something figured out. He just can't explain it yet. So yeah, that's just my thought on that. And then I don't know if you ever heard of anything, and I just found it because of my Farmer's Almanac on the 27th. It was the anniversary of when it was founded, and it said that in the almanac. It said like meteorite ALH 84001, and it's like a asteroid or meteorite that they found in Antarctica. Apparently, it's like the anniversary of it, but it was found in like 1984.
okay.
And apparently, it was found in Antarctica, and they claim that it was off of Mars and that it had life on it.
Okay.
It was one hell of a claim, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it was ALH 84001, and I found that interesting. And then just lastly, I know we are at the end here, talking about Antarctica. Did you see who the guest is going to be for Strange World on Tuesday?
No.
It's going to be that Jonathan Morandi guy.
Oh, the guy who went to Antarctica and did the videography stuff.
Yeah, the documentary guy.
Yeah. Wonder where the documentary is.
Yeah, and I did. So I remember there was one time where he was on the Jaren VIP thing, you know, and then he recommended one movie that just made me be like, huh, I'm gonna buy that. So I did, and let me just find the name of it. It's a movie called Encounters at the End of the World. It's like some documentary about Antarctica, so I found that interesting. I'm going to try to watch that today or like after work tomorrow, just before he goes on the show. And yeah, I just hope whatever they do end up putting out, it's nothing too egregious as, you know, I could imagine it going any which way. So I'm just, I don't know, something interesting and sort of related to that meteorite thing, which seems like you could question that right off the bat. They said that's from Mars for sure, and it was in 1984. But then if we're talking about Antarctica, they were saying the whole stuff on, well, you can go anywhere in Antarctica. You just got to pay for them to check out an area, and then you can go after. Like, in 1984, they were doing that. Like, I don't even think that ALE stuff was set up in 1984. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions as usual.
Yeah.
Figured I'd spitball a couple of things here.
Yeah. Weird. There's a Martian meteorite, they call it. Hilarious.
I know. And then I was even looking up some video that says a controversial one. So probably even people back then were shouting BS, but, you know, science persists. Science gets to say whatever they want. So
yeah, whatever to get their name in the news.
Well, I'm gonna run. I know it's the end, and Bitches Brew was great. Looking forward to the next one. It was good vibe throughout the whole thing. I appreciated it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Tony.
Gotcha. Well, peace out, Karen B. Have a great week.
Okay, you too.
Later.
Bye. Balls Evans. Oh, okay. You have to watch Zeitgeist. That Peter Joseph could explain it better to you, just like Flat Earth. It takes time to most people to grasp fully. Real close to Trinity River, but that's been pretty hammered over the years. Cash is worthless, but a tiny nug of gold is worth a ton now. It's been a year. All of the known monetary systems we have implemented so far has been abused and used to control us. You need to think outside the box that they have put us all in. I mean, I'm down. I'm trying. I'm trying to understand it. Zeitgeist was communist propaganda. They're just trying to call it something else now, but it's based on the same ideas. The fake flat earther guy. Which guy is the fake flat earther guy? Oh, the Marianne guy? Yeah, the guy where they said he was a flat earther, who was going to make the documentary, but he's not really a flat earther. Also said the movie Braveheart is his fave, and I remember you saying it wasn't that good. Am I remembering right? It isn't communism, it's RBE. I have thought it through while watching the Zeitgeist trilogy. Dude, you know we can find the Zeitgeist trilogy on Roku. Ted and I were looking up something. I forget what we were looking up, but it was showing us Zeitgeist, like the different series of Zeitgeist movies. Candace and her cameraman, that guy, yeah. Well, I don't know if he's Candace's cameraman. Maybe he does. I don't know. But the producer guy that is a producer for Candace did go also to Antarctica. He was the guy with the beard, like the Mark guy or whatever his name is. It's also still on YouTube. Worth more than gold. Ben also has diamonds. What's up, DJ? What's up, DJ? Good to see you. Just part 2, because YouTube or internet or technology or whatever killed my stream before. Communism is a resource-based economy. They own all the resources and provide to everyone by their need. More people have died from that structure than any other type of governance. Oh. Let us all turn the same tracking and tracing to the elected, put up open access flock cameras with no government restrictions. I'll tell you what I am open to. Like if they want to tokenize everything, they want to put everything on the blockchain and have it tracked and like be transparent. I'm down for all of government's budget and monetary dealings to be on the blockchain, so that everything is absolutely accounted for and traceable. You know? Sure. Why not? Let's hold them accountable for all their crap that they're doing. Was the topic of conversation just before the stream dropping. Actually, we were looking at the resource-based economy stuff, because Law brought it up, and then I wanted to see what it was, and it's just kind of weird. I don't know if I'm Law thinks we don't understand it properly, but it just doesn't sound that great to me, but I'm open to hear more. I just don't. I don't know, it's weird. But look at this. Is Cammy here? It's not communism. Okay, Law says it's not communism. You know when when Cammy talks about there being like a filter, like the polarizing filter? Oh. Thank you for calling. Coffee Talk. What's up, Dr. Law?
Hey, Karen. I see a lot of people in chat saying that it's this or that, some kind of ism or if, but it's not. It's really not. You would have to understand it because I called you back in February, a couple, maybe almost 2 years ago, and Ben was saying something about that too. But yeah, Chilentano, it's not communism at all, brother. I mean, it's really hard to. I'll make the story short. Okay, long story short. Basically, you know that everything has been given to us by the one and only Creator, right? Everything here. No one has ownership on anything. You understand that, Karen? I mean, nobody. You know, everything that is here that we even made has been provided by the one and only. I mean, all we have done is put it into a system where we put a value on something, you know, like value on gold, silver, diamonds, and shit like that, you know. I have no value on things like that, you know. I don't have any jewelry. I don't wear a ring. I don't have a necklace. I don't have any gold or any silver that I wear on my body. But a resource-based economy is basically taking what you have. You know, this would have to be a very concerted effort by everyone. No bullets should be involved at all. No violence. Once you wake up to this fact that we all here in the community, you know, everyone that is a flat earther knows, or anyone who knows that there is a creator knows that it has been given to us. Once you wake up, because there are more of us than there are of those who control us. You know, those who control us, the elites, we don't know who they are. They're not the Bill Gates. They're not the, you know, all these big names of Rothschilds. They're not those guys. They're people that you would never ever see or you would never ever suspect. They don't need money. But a resource-based economy is none of the systems that we have implemented before in society, because they have all failed. In the very beginning, even if everyone went along with it 100%, it will fail because it has incentives to make a person want to control another. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With a resource-based economy, you know, there is no money, so you cannot control anyone. You know, you can't keep food away from people because food is growing everywhere around us. You know, we leave nature as it is, but utilize it for our, you know, survival. Not only survival, but how we can thrive. You know, let's say for instance, transportation. I'm just only going to talk about transportation. Look at how many cars we have. Look at how many colors, types. Look at how many engines we have. You know, but if you really think about it, you only need a car to go from point A to point B. There's nothing else, or to carry things, right? There's nothing else a car is needed for, you know, that you need a car for. Most of the time, we don't even use our cars unless you're a commercial driver. We're mostly in a house or somewhere doing something, not using our car, you know, only maybe an hour out of 24 hours, okay? But a car, what if we had a car that hardly ever breaks down, is so reliable, that uses, that gets 100 miles to the gallon, you know, runs on water, you know, because we've had those before. But it does not need to go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. We just need to get from point A to point B, you know. It could be from here, from my house to your house, or from my house to California, okay? Okay, if you have that, and every car is the same, why do you need to have a car that goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds? You could hurt someone, or you could even hurt yourself, you know. There's no need for that. we would take that other time to spend together, to get to know one another, to share our thoughts. And the zeitgeist, resource-based economy, is not the best way. It's not utopia. There is no such thing. Utopia was gone, I think after the forbidden fruit was eaten. I don't know. Once we started having childbirth and death, I don't know when if utopia ever existed, but there is no utopia. It's just a better way. For now, it would end all crime. 99% of all the world's problems, hunger, homelessness, would all end overnight. The only thing it couldn't end would be the crimes of passion. That's the only thing it cannot end right now. Okay? But anyone who says that it's communism, socialism, capitalism, they're wrong. It's nowhere near what you think it is. The way I see it, because I've looked at it, and also, once I understood it only took me like an hour. Like I said, once I saw it, everything fell into place for me. Coming here to the United States back in '76, we had nothing. Okay, we were given clothes from the local church that we had to go to because we didn't have any money. The clothes were all hand-me-downs, had holes in them. I would go to school and I would look at other kids and say, hey, why do those kids have new shoes on? I'm over here. I have old shoes, old clothes on, and I saw the world as unfair. That's because of money, but it's a deep story, and everyone cannot grasp it in a few minutes that I'm talking here. You would have to be a one-on-one, and I, would have to talk to them. Every time I try to explain to someone, people tend to have questions. It's like a flat versus globe type of conversation. It's just very difficult for me. I have that same problem explaining it. So I apologize to anyone who cannot comprehend what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling to clarify.
Well, I don't think that was clear enough. I'm sorry, Karen. There's just not enough time in the day for me to completely explain it. But since '06, well, that's 19 years now, '07, 18 years, I haven't spoken to anyone who could comprehend it completely, except for one person. And the guy was living out in the woods in a camper. Kind of like what the Thunder Chicken was doing for a while. But he understood it right away, because we could talk about one subject and you would take what I'm explaining to you on one subject, just like the car, and just use it to other things like agriculture, textile, petroleum, resources, everything you can use, that's just the way it is, for housing, for everything. So, but anywho, I'm sorry I got you more confused, guys. But I just want to call in because Tony Coriolis knows I'm always lurking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, if anyone wants to, talk more about it, you can always call me. We'll talk about it.
All right, Law.
All right, Queen Bee. I'll talk to you guys.
All right. Take care.
Much love.
Much love.
You too.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Tell it to the tyrants, voy, 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 voy. Instead of utopia, can we call it La La Land? Yeah. Money itself isn't evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Yeah. If you start worshiping money, if it becomes your sole purpose, it is definitely going to lead to bad things. So, I would agree with that. Jesse is coming to Florida. I don't know who Jesse is. Thanks for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I just have to disagree with Law. I mean, he made it sound even more like communism just now. No one gets to have a car better than anyone else, and we have to make sure it's the lowest common denominator for everything. So every time a communist regime is spun up, the first thing they have to do is seize the means of production, which means seizing all resources, and having full totalitarian control over all resources. And then everyone lives in a concrete little box, and nothing is put into the standard of living for people. They're all equally poor. And then there's always a tiny few that control all the people with guns that are not living in a shitbox, a concrete shitbox with everyone else. They're living high on the hog. That's always how it goes. But everyone else has to have equity equalize with the same outcome as the lowest common denominator. You see what I mean? Everyone has to be equally poor.
Yeah.
No, there's no incentive to do anything better. There's no incentive to better oneself.
Right.
Come up with new ideas.
And everybody's supposed to be expected to be satisfied with the same of everything.
Yeah, and all of the crap out of the UN with Agenda 2030, with sustainability and all these pretty little words they use, and all of a sudden everything was a tranny emergency out of the blue, and all of that stuff. It's just putting flowery language on the same kind of outcome that they want to see. They're just trying to get there using all that kind of language. What they want to see is no borders, and we end up with a Hunger Games situation. And I'm not talking about the part of that fictional trilogy or whatever it was, where they're actually trying to kill you and, the competition thing. I'm talking about the districts, and everyone lives in a shitty little hovel, but then you get the controllers living in the capital. So the trouble with setting that kind of thing up is the people never say, okay, you guys want to have us all living like this? All right, you go get into that shit box and you start living there, and you control us from the same shit box that you're telling all of us to live in. And you eat the lab-grown meat, because that's another thing communists always do. They seize control of the food supply too. So people have no way out. Once that happens, it's over. And it's no coincidence that in 2020, while, they were doing everything they did to us, that people like Bill Gates and Netanyahu, I saw him wandering around a lab-grown meat facility.
Oh, God.
Starting in 2020. He was doing it, Bill Gates, and he came out with lab-grown breast milk that doesn't want anyone, doing that the natural way. It's control of the food supply. It's just the same old thing. But they're going to end up calling it UBI because we have no choice, because AI took over everything. That's a whole other rabbit hole. But I don't mean in any way to be disrespectful, Dr. Law, if you're still lurking, at all. It sounds wonderful. And I mean, I feel like the original design of Earth was supposed to be the Garden of Eden. where you're right. Everyone had resources and people weren't having to compete with each other or be jealous of each other. Everyone just had plenty. But that's not how this fallen world works. It makes me think of like James Corbett. He calls himself a voluntarist.
Mm-hmm.
That also sounds absolutely wonderful, but it has nothing to do with human nature. I imagine trying to get everyone, even just in this country alone, to agree to be wonderful and kind to each other, and we live in a voluntarist society. People just will not do that. It also makes me think of the year or two that I thought I was a libertarian until I thought it all the way through. I used to toy with the idea of full-on libertarianism where the only law was no theft of anything, and that includes no theft of life, no theft of property of another person. Yeah, you've heard
Mm-hmm.
that extreme libertarianism stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Like do no harm, cause no loss.
Yeah. And so there does have to be some law enforcement of that one single law, so with libertarianism. So that's how it differs from all-out anarchy. And I guess the reason I realized I wasn't really a libertarian was I was trying to imagine if there was total societal collapse and you, me, and a bunch of other people decided, okay, we're going to start over and we're going to build a libertarian town. You have to start with security. So right away, you've got to have a police force. Do you agree?
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
Some sort of enforcement. Yeah.
Yeah, it would start with the townspeople having to protect themselves from outsiders, firstly. But then it would turn into also, well, you have to stop people within your town from stealing and, I gradually realized, given human nature, I don't think even libertarianism, extreme libertarianism works. So I'm much more of a Ron Paul kind of libertarian and kind of a constitutional conservative, because in my travels, I haven't seen any better form of government. And I'm a bit of an anarcho-capitalist too. I think capitalism is the best way, but not when it gets taken over by an oligarchy and by politicians like we have today, and we've had that for decades.
Right.
It's a matter of not enforcing our laws and especially not enforcing our Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
If that had been enforced all the way through, we wouldn't have crony capitalism and the banker problem that we have, the oligarchy problem that we have. That's nasty crony capitalism, and that's not free market capitalism in any way.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But that's got to be merit-based. And of course, there's no such thing as equality. You can force equality of outcome, which they call equity, which is what communism is based on. So you can do that, but it's horrific. Everyone ends up having equity with everyone else, equally poor in every way, and no one can stand out.
Yeah. And I just think about those certain types of people too, who it's like no matter what you give them, they end up pissing it away or doing something stupid with it. Like, what about those people? He's gonna keep giving him stuff to just piss away and do stupid shit with. Like, I don't
Right.
know. Like, I just don't think human problems that exist are gonna go away with something like that. Like people who get addicted to drugs or whatever, because
Right.
people are never gonna stop doing stuff like that. They're never gonna, there's always gonna be somebody who doesn't have any self control and who just goes too far.
Exactly. That's a really good example. I watched that happen in Seattle when I lived in Seattle. So the bleeding heart liberals, and don't get me wrong, I think people who fall into addiction that want help, we should give them help. I'm not saying we shouldn't.
Right.
But what they did was set up needle exchanges and made it easier and easier to shoot up, and they decriminalized it. So next thing I know, I'm walking around downtown, weaving between people shooting up on the sidewalk. I mean, it just became bizarre overnight, and there's dirty needles all over the place. It was gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then more and more it grew, that population, because kids were saying, oh, well, what the fuck, it's basically legal now, so I'm going to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they become homeless. It just massively increased the homeless population, and then they started stealing from the stores, and so the leftist government decriminalized any theft below $1,000. So now everyone's shoplifting, and it just destroys the economy, and no one wants to run a business downtown. Why would you?
Right.
Yeah, it just creates a huge mess. That also made me think, well, I guess I'm not a libertarian, because there will always be, the easier they make it, the more people, especially young people, and don't get me wrong, I did plenty of drugs when I was young, too. Never like that. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. And it just kind of invites intravenous drug use, like hardcore drugs that will just destroy your life and rot your brain. And libertarianism says, well, just legalize everything. And if you want to go destroy your life, have at it. But what it does is it kind of destroys society along with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my little political system thoughts. Me and my little...
Yeah, it's true. When the human element is involved, there's a lot of things that just don't work out.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got. Oh, Dennis, do be careful. You're driving around with dilated eyes, and you pick this day to go have some Baileys at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, Dennis.
Yeah, I think he said he was already at the bar, so he made it to the bar, so that's good, I guess.
Okay, good. Oh, all right.
All right. Thanks
Good
for
talking to
calling.
you.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Have a good week.
You too.
Bye.
Only concerns are taking care of orphans and widows. We will always have bums. Everything is corrupt and broken. Let me go back and chat. I am now at the bar with my spiked coffee, blackened redfish on the way. Okay, see there, he made it and he's gonna get some food, so he's good. It's going to take the return of Jesus to change things. How do we do that, and why haven't we done it already? All for one sounds like a slave master situation. All resources for one master for all resources. Hard work should produce wealth. Even scriptural laziness should produce poverty. That's even scriptural. Wouldn't we need this free energy everyone talks about? Yeah. The AI bubble, they're bringing in tons of investments and just burning the cash. Woody Guthrie wrote a newspaper column during World War II composed of pro-Stalin political cartoons which were gathered together and published as a book in 1975, one I haven't picked up yet. Christ said you will always have the poor. Only concerns are taking care of the orphans and widows. Yes, I already read that. Anyway, yeah, I pulled up the lunar eclipse because what did you say, Tony? Something about some planets being involved in the eclipse. And I was like, well, let's see how close they are and the relationship between and how this could possibly work. Let's think about it. Because I've thought about other bodies that are in the sky having things to do with eclipses. You know, like Mercury is always right by the sun, right? So if the moon, which is 180 degrees from the sun, right? 180 degrees from the sun, and then the Mercury's right there. If Mercury rolls around at a certain angle and then crosses with the sun, it could be, in my mind, it seems like it could feasibly be a cause for an eclipse. If you're talking about if everything has its own magnetic field, right? And the magnetic fields can alter and polarize light in different ways, right? So if you have the sun, which is polarized a certain way, and then you've got the moon over here, and then you have Mercury as a third body that passes in between them and then polarizes the light, because I do think that the sun lights up the moon. I think that they do have a relationship with each other. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Dennis again. Forgive me if I interrupted your more in-depth discussion of eclipses and whatnot. I saw you. You saw my message that I arrived at the bar and I got my hot coffee with. I don't think he had Bailey, so he put Jameson in it. I just wanted to say one thing. The research, not with the stuff that you were talking about now about eclipses and stuff of the natural world. It was I think I posted them. You're probably aware of it. The books I came across in a couple of them in the past month. They have more to do with, I guess, BS, but it's not so much as these two books specifically, not so much as explaining the natural world of the creation, but rather along the lines of debunking BS. So the one is you received the two books I sent you. And by the way, how do you like those? The one, Operation Moonglow, which is, in my opinion, the best book I've seen on outlining the whole propaganda program of the 60s, with a little bit on the 50s and stuff before that. But although it's a mainstream book, and the author, she believes that the space program actually happened, that it's real. As she said, that's not what the book is about. She's outlining the propaganda in it. She says from the actual documents, even say, not her opinion, but the actual documents in the Kennedy and Johnson administrations and NASA, they say the science is secondary. The political purposes of this propaganda, that's the whole reason the programs Gemini and Apollo, that's the reason they're going forward. That's the reason they're getting funded. And I think I sent you one more, which had the one by Willie Lay, but I was just wondering what you if you had maybe you haven't had time to get into them too much because I think you received them only like a couple weeks ago. But
Yeah, and then of course it's holiday time, and my kids are out of school, so they're here all the time. So I really haven't had a lot of time to go through them, but I did look through them a little bit, and they look very interesting. So I will get to them.
I would say that one Operation Moonglow, as far as the propaganda and all, that's probably like of capital importance. That's one like an anchor. And the two books I came across, they're kind of like supplements to that. The one, I think his name is Glenn Swanson. Now he's a pro NASA guy, but his facts are what's. It's a book about Star Trek. I ordered it myself, but I just posted the link to it online. I think it's called Inspired Enterprise. It's about Star Trek, and the subtitle says it all. How NASA, the aerospace community, and the Smithsonian helped launch and fund Star Trek back in the 60s. So it's Operation Moonglow, Teasel Muir Harmony. Her book outlines the whole Kennedy administration with the Apollo program in its political purpose, outline the whole deal. This book on Star Trek, that's like a supplement. That's like one strand of that, or one aspect of that. The whole, you have a significant one because I think Star Trek's probably, I would say, the most popular space program TV series of the entire 1960s. I mean, up there with like 2001: A Space Odyssey. As far as science fiction media, it's up there right with it. But the other book, it's called. It's by this other lady who's affiliated with NASA by the name of Amy Kaminsky, who's perhaps a little bit more, not perhaps, she's a little bit more critical of NASA in her books. Like she takes the name of the book is called The People's Spaceship, and it basically takes over where the Muir Harmony's book leaves off with the moon landing claims and all that from 69 to 72, and maybe the Skylab's like a precursor of the International Space Station propaganda in the early 70s. But basically, this People's Spaceship covers the whole space shuttle era from the propaganda view. So it does what Muir Harmony did for the 60s. It does for the 70s, 80s, especially the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. It continues and it's the propaganda about NASA and all that. To me, that's 99 to 100% of what the whole space program consists of is the propaganda stuff. And like I was saying, she's critical of NASA. She spends like a whole section of it, among other things, for slamming NASA for its misogynism, its mistreatment of women, among other topics. I think she's a little bit more left politically than Muir Harmony, though Muir Harmony's facts are completely useful. I think both of those books put ammo in our guns for flat earthers. I just wanted to, The People's Spaceship by Amy Kaminsky and the Inspired Enterprise by Glenn Swanson. I think there's a YouTube video I saw was an interview about the book. I'll post it at some point. But I think I'm going to go get back to my fish and the coffee. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks, Dennis.
All right. We'll see you.
See you later. The moon done a V pattern or the shadow. What's going on? Who's backwards? Talking about my mics. Are they messed up? No, my video feed is not reversed. During the eclipse, my P900 would not focus more than halfway to the moon as it normally does. Huh. My video should be alright, right? It says Flat Earther. Is that correct? Irish whiskey and coffee. Like the point. I'm just thinking out loud here. Like the point on the caustic. Done a V pattern in the shadow. What do you mean? Like how it kind of is like. It's like round, kind of dropping. It's just weird. That's why it's like. Kind of have to remember that, you know, these things are all up in the sky above us, but all the things up there in the sky are at different levels and stuff to each in relationship to each other. And I think when they get in certain alignments and their fields get, you know, within a certain degrees of each other, that's when you start seeing the light play in different ways, like maybe a lunar eclipse. And then, of course, if the moon covers this, I still think a solar eclipse is the moon going in front of the sun. I don't really have any reason to not believe that. I know you don't see the moon, but it's a new moon phase. It's when the moon is closest to the sun. It goes with the patterns of the sun and the moon. Like, there's just really no reason to not believe that a solar eclipse involves the moon occulting the sun to some degree. So, just my opinion. However, so yeah, you've got Mercury right here and then North Node, and every time there's an eclipse, it's near the nodal points. So I think that these which are referred to as like the head of the snake and the tail of the snake or whatever, are actually just then they are nodal points that are fields that polarize the light of the sun and the moon at certain parts of the cycle, because the sun and the moon get close to one of these nodes, and they get in, and it's during a full moon. Has to be during a full moon phase or a new moon phase for a solar eclipse. And then when it's in either one of these phases and it is in a line with the nodes, right? The southern nodes and the northern nodes. You see, during a lunar eclipse, both of the nodes are involved. Oh my gosh, I'm having a little bit of an epiphany right now. So let me see if I can explain this in a way that makes sense, and maybe see if you guys think. So both of the nodes are involved, right, in a lunar eclipse. So you have the sun here with a node here, and then a node here with the moon here, right? So if the sun is indeed causing the moon to glow, which I do think it is, so then you have two shadows here, right? But they say it's Earth's penumbra and Earth's umbra, but what if it's not? What if these are just like the southern node? So this big one would be the node that's closest to the I don't know how I could keep track of this to see if this makes sense. So this biggest part would be so that's the northern node, right? The north node. So this one would be the north node because it's closer to the sun, which is opposite the moon. And then the smaller one would be the south node, which is actually closer to the moon. So maybe with those two aligned, and the sun and the moon and each having their own field, it creates this effect sort of like the Faraday effect, which then when it's all in a perfect alignment from your view, it turns red and then goes back to dark as it starts to change angle, right? Just like the polarized filters, that as you change the angle of the polarized filters, it causes the light to start to come back. And then boom, they all get out of alignment and the moon comes back to full brightness. Does that make sense? That could be how it works. Nodal points, yeah. What you were saying is every planet would act as polarized lens, or the nodal points. Well, let me see. Now you guys are going to make me look at my mic settings. Yeah, you guys made me flip them this way so that it was more correct from your point of view. Do you want me to flip them back the other way? The next lunar eclipse I will be doing a live for the entire time, and the latest one I did was 15 minutes ahead of schedule according to time and date. Way too much thinking. If Cammie was listening, she would know what I meant. Is Cammie, are you listening? Is she here? I haven't seen her chatting. I don't know if she ever made it back to the stream after the first one ended. But anyway, it makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. 1:35 p.m. Let's see. Let me check again. I could be wrong. Let's see. So why does it have to have this one? I don't want to see the outer ring. I just want the inner ring. So 8:39 a.m. UTC. So that would be plus so 20 degrees. Let's step forward 5 minutes. Let's do a quarter hour. We'll do 15 minutes. Then it starts to get farther away from the node. See here? You can see the moon getting farther away from that. So it starts. Yeah, interesting. Everything over here seems to stay pretty tight, right? Like the sun and the planets and stuff are all pretty much moving at the same rate. And then the moon is slowly separating from this node on the other side as it progresses. Interesting. Because the lunar eclipse is definitely different than the solar eclipse, right? It happens at a different time. It's visually different. It's a different body being eclipsed. Interesting. I'm already subbed. I think I'm going to have a look later on. FEN cheers. Love Bunny. Where's Aaron Wage was here to chime in too. Yeah, I know. It's an odd time for the West Coast people, though. I want to have Aaron on a bitch's brew. Because then we could have, we could ask her questions. I would think it would be awesome. All right, you guys. Well, it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. What's up, NDB? The Cell Theo crew utilizing shadow data from eclipses to prove flat Earth is genius. I agree, Andrew. I agree. I don't know who decided to apply that equation to eclipse data, but it is I thought that was pretty brilliant too. I agree. We got some smart people figuring some stuff out. For those people who like to crunch the numbers, who want to see mathematical proof because they think math is reality. You know? So it's great. It's great. Absolutely. How do we make that idea more popular? We should try to promote that because it really is, you know, it really is good. We should make that more popular. It's just, you know, nobody talks about the stuff that actually is like serious, you know, nail in the coffin type data because, you know, but the sun goes in a circle around the sky. You know? Or whatever. But mo refraction. It's like, you know, the argument's been going on for hundreds of years, and I think it will just continue to go on. Which is kind of why I, you know, gave up on arguing and debating, and I just don't really care to argue or debate. Like, there's always going to be, it's just going to be a thing forever and ever. Until we all, you know, turn back into dust. So, I just don't worry about it too much anymore. I know that the Earth is not a ball in space. I know that shit. I fucking know it. So, whatever. Retarded red, yeah. Yes, retarded red. Old enough to know about retarded red. Hard part is getting a lot of flat earthers to conceptualize it. It's pretty straightforward, but it takes a bit of intellect to understand. Well, we need somebody to like draw it out. We need pictures. We need somebody to make it, you know, it doesn't have to be like a physical model that actually works like the real world works, because I just don't think that's possible. But if they had like a little illustration that showed the sun, you know, and the angle, you know, and they're like, oh, this, you know, showing like physically what the numbers mean. Because if you can't picture things three-dimensionally in your mind, it can be kind of overwhelming, and not everybody could do that. Yeah, Marconi. San Francisco's got the Marconi Center, Marconi Street. Nothing named Tesla, though, that I remember. So there's that. Has to be better explained on every level because we're all not on the same level on different topics. Yes. Yes. I get it. That'll be something I'll have to think about. I should think about that, because I may have the means to help explain this and make it a more well understood idea. The reason the anti-flatties won't touch it. Yeah. They just have their same old stuff that they keep repeating over and over again. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna get some stuff done. Got a little bit of adulting to do, and some projects I need to start working on. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. If I don't talk to y'all before then, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Enjoy your New Year. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't do dumb stuff. Be good. And make it home at the end of the day. I know that sounds cheesy and cliche, but it's true. It's really true. Anyway. Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. And thank you so much for coming back to my restarted stream after technology killed it dead. I do appreciate it. And, you know, I know it took me a minute to get started again, whatever. Alright, you guys. Take care.
The Earth, but I'm not spinning at all. Hi, Haley, I'm spinning at 120 miles per hour. How about you, Zach? I am spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, but I don't feel it. Oh, fine.